Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man's Noble Beer Reviews. Today I have a beer from a new brewing company that I have not done a review for yet, so I'm pretty excited about this. This is from Amor Artis Brewing Company. They're out of Fort Mill, South Carolina, so it's only, I think, somewhere between 5 and 10 miles south of the North Carolina-South Carolina border. So it's, it's a decent hike for me since I live north of the city, but it's still within an hour, and it's really not that far from Charlotte. But they've been doing a lot of pretty decent stuff. I just don't get down there as often as I would like to because of the distance. But they've done a couple bottles of things, but they've been kind of, I don't want to say weird things. I haven't tried them, so I won't say anything bad about them. But they did like a dark sour, which I'm generally not a huge fan of dark sours, and like a wine barrel aged wit, which that actually sounds interesting, but I didn't get to try those. But I have a buddy who lives in Fort Mill, so he picked this up for me. This is their Blackberry sour ale, and I have not had this. I have had a peach sour that they did. I don't know if it's the same base beer and just with different fruits, or if it's a completely different beer, but the peach one was very, very, very good, so I'm excited for this. Blackberries are my favorite fruit in wild ale, so that ups the ante for me a little bit too. And this is 7% ABV, obviously 500 milliliter bottle, and just the description on the back just says, the sour was aged in neutral wine barrels for a total of 14 months with 1.5 pounds per gallon of blackberries. We dedicate this to those who have supported us from the beginning into the town where we've laid our roots. So, yeah, let's crack it open and see what we got. And also, as a bonus, if any of you listen to this and you're around the Charlotte area at some point in time and you decide to visit these guys, if you're a spicy food fan like I am, Pucker Butt, which is the farm / company that created the Carolina Reaper, is on the same street as Amor Artis. It's almost literally right across the street. It's across the street and like a couple businesses down. So if you visit them and you like spicy food, check out Pucker Butt too. They have a lot of awesome hot sauces. But anyways. That looks really, really nice. I can smell it already. So as you can see, it pours a beautiful, vibrant, like deep dark red color, almost purple. It's like dark pink / red, and then almost purple with like a pinkish white head. So the aroma, there's a lot of oak going on in there. I am getting some of the blackberry, but it's almost kind of like a generic like fruit acidity rather than specifically picking out that it's blackberry. But there is a lot of oak. There's a good bit of like cheesy funk too. It smells really, really nice. The only detriment, I would say, and I don't even know if this is a detriment, if I'm just judging the beer as a beer and not really thinking of what's in it or whatever, I wouldn't say this. But if you're particularly looking for like a crap ton of blackberry, I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm picking that up in the nose. But it could be drastically different in the taste. We'll see. That's very nice. That's very nice. So I will say, I know I mentioned before that I had their the peach sour. And when I first had it, like closer to when they opened, which this came out like around their and they just had their anniversary like a month ago. So they must have brewed this literally like right when they opened, or even technically before they opened to the public. the peach one I had shortly after they opened, and I thought it was like freaking. I don't. Amazing's probably a little hyperbolic, but I thought it was really really good. I actually thought it was better than like Fauna and Flora. Uh, their peach sours, their peach sour that they do Funk Fuzz. Um, but not to buy this, but the last time I was in Amor Artis, I went there. They had a barrel aged imperial stout and a barrel aged barley wine on tap, and those were both very very good too. By the way, but they did crowlers of them one day, but it was like on a Tuesday, so I couldn't get down there to buy it. So I wanted to try them on tap. They were both very very good. Excuse me, but they also had the peach sour on tap, and I'm assuming it was from that same original batch. While I still thought it was pretty good, it started kind of floating into that like acetic character where it was just very very sour. I mean, it didn't get to the point where it tasted like vinegar, but it was just very very tart. So I still enjoyed it, and it still had good peach flavor, but it was very very tart. This tastes like, other than the fruit being different, obviously, this tastes like what that tasted like when I first had it fresh. Very very balanced. It's funny because up front, it kind of stings the tongue a little bit. It makes you pucker, but that's all it does. Like, the front of the tongue is pretty bitter and acidic. There's nothing hitting the back of the throat or even like the sides of the tongue. So it's like very tart for the first taste, but then once it actually washes over the palate, like it finishes very dry. There's not a lot of fruit character on the back end, but this is really freaking good. I would say so. I think it has less fruit than some of the fauna fruited beers and some of the wooden robot ones, because I think they're doing some good fruited sours. But what you lose in the fruit flavor, you gain in balance and drinkability, because it doesn't have that lingering acidity. I can just keep going back and just boom, 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 boom. Like, this is so drinkable. And that's the other thing. I don't like really strong sours, not because they taste strong. I don't like them because the fact that they don't taste strong. And not that 7% is that strong, but I mean, just for example, some sours are like 9-10%. And the acidity basically generally covers up that alcohol burn. You don't even realize how strong it is. But if this was like, if you told me this is a 5% sour, I would absolutely believe it. I mean, I'm not getting any traces of alcohol at all. And like I said, it's not leaving any lingering burn in the throat or anything. It's very, very drinkable. The only negative I'm only saying this as a negative to someone who might buy it looking at the label and thinking it's going to be like a ton of blackberry juice. It's really not that, but it's a very well balanced American Wild Ale, and I'm really glad that I bought it. I'm hoping the next time I go down there that they still have some, because this is really great. It has a little bit of that like sweet tarty character, but there is, like I said, there is a lot of cheesy funk to it, which I appreciate. Definitely some Brett character, and there is a lot of oak too. It's just a very well balanced, tasty American Wild Ale, and I honestly am. I don't want to say I'm surprised because I know that I've had some pretty good stuff from these guys, but it's the first time they've actually bottled one of these, and if the other ones in the series are like this dialed in, I'm gonna be drive all the way down there for every one of them because this is fantastic. So this was like $18, I think, for this 500 milliliter, which is kind of pricey, but I mean that's like $25 roughly for 750. But I mean I think it's worth it. I'm not going to say it's a steal, but I would say it's worth the money. So I would definitely buy this again, and I'm going to buy it again. And I would rather pay $18 for a 500 mil than 25 for 750 because this is this is really all I need. Even though I like it so much, I just a lot of times I just don't want sours in big volumes, but this is so drinkable and it finishes so dry that I could wreck through a 750 of this like it's nothing, and not like feel like it was crushing my palate or anything. So yeah, great first start for these guys in their sour bottle program, and I honestly cannot wait to see what they come out with next. So I think that's all I got in this one. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.